From sailing the high seas to stealing hearts on screen, Errol Flynn lived a wild and action-packed life. Born in 1909 in Tasmania, people sometimes called him the Tasmanian Devil, and not just because of where he was from. He was bold, charming, and totally fearless. Flynn became super famous for playing swashbuckling heroes in movies like The Adventures of Robin Hood, The Seahawk, and They Died with Their Boots On. With his sharp jawline, cool sword moves, and cheeky smile, he didn't just play the rebel, he was the rebel. Off-screen, he was just as wild. He loved fast cars, partied hard, drank a lot, and had tons of dramatic love stories. In 1943, his career nearly crashed when he was taken to court for a serious crime, but he was found not guilty. Even with the scandal, he kept making movies, even though his personal life was falling apart. Flynn was married 3 times, had 4 children, and was known for his heavy drinking. By the 1950s, his health got worse and he stopped landing big roles. But one thing never changed: his magnetic charm on screen. Sadly, in 1959, Errol Flynn passed away from a heart attack at just 50 years old. Before he died, he wrote a jaw-dropping book called My Wicked, Wicked Ways, where he shared all the crazy stories from his life, honest, wild, and just like him. He left behind 4 children, Sean, Deirdre, Rory, and Arnella. But did they manage to carry on his legendary legacy? Let's find out. But before we dive in, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Number 4. Sean Flynn. Sean Flynn was the first and only son of the legendary Errol Flynn. Born on May 31, 1941 in Los Angeles, Sean was the child of Hollywood royalty. His mom, Lily DeMita, was a glamorous French-American actress, and from day one, Sean was surrounded by fame, money, and flashing cameras. He looked a lot like his famous dad and even had that same charming spark, but Sean was different. He was quieter, more thoughtful, and always seemed to be searching for something more. After his parents split up when he was just a baby, he mostly lived with his mom. Errol was often off filming movies or partying, but as Sean grew up, they started to build a bond, especially during his teenage years. Sean went to fancy schools and even started college at Duke University, but the academic life didn't excite him. Hollywood was always there, calling his name. In his early 20s, he gave acting a shot. He starred in a few European films, like The Son of Captain Blood, a tribute to his dad's famous pirate roles, but Sean wasn't interested in fame for fame's sake. Acting just didn't feel right to him. Then, everything changed. Sean found his true passion: photojournalism. He wanted to tell real stories from real people, especially those in danger. By 1966, he was in Vietnam, working as a war photographer. He wasn't just watching from the sidelines. Sean was right there in the middle of it. He flew into combat zones, parachuted with soldiers, and rode helicopters into gunfire, all with a camera around his neck. People said he was brave, not foolish, curious, not careless. His friend Tim Page once called him magnetic, noble, and unforgettable. But then came the day that everything stopped. On April 6, 1970, Sean and his friend Dana Stone were in Cambodia, riding motorcycles down a dangerous road. That area was controlled by enemy forces. They were last seen being taken away by armed men. And after that, nothing. No calls, no letters, no answers. Sean's mother never gave up. She spent years and millions trying to find him, hoping he was alive somewhere. But in 1984, he was declared legally dead. His body was never found, and his story remains one of the great mysteries of the Vietnam War. He lived fast, searched for truth, and disappeared chasing it. Sean Flynn was more than just the son of a Hollywood icon. He was a legend in his own right. Number 3. Deirdre Flynn. Born on January 10, 1945, Deirdre Flynn was the first daughter of Errol Flynn and his second wife, Nora Eddington. She was born in Chicago during a quieter time in Errol's movie career, but life in the Flynn family was anything but ordinary. When Deirdre was still a toddler, her parents' marriage fell apart. After the split, her mom, Nora, raised Deirdre and her younger sister, Rory, mostly on her own. But that didn't mean Deirdre never saw her dad. She spent some special summers with him in Malibu, making memories even after the family had separated. While her brother Sean chased cameras and fame, Deirdre preferred to stay out of the spotlight. For many years, she lived a very private life. But in her 20s, she quietly stepped into the film world, just in her own way. In the late 1960s, around age 24, Deirdre worked as a stuntwoman in movies like the Reavers and Hale Hero. She earned about $29 a day. Not exactly Hollywood glamour, but she loved the action. She also tried her hand at acting and later worked behind the scenes as a costume designer. In fact, she earned a film credit for her work on Poltergeist 2: The Other Side. Unlike her famous father or adventurous brother, Deirdre didn't chase the spotlight or stir up headlines. She kept a low profile, and her journey through Hollywood was quieter, but still her own. Number 2. Rory Flynn. Rory Flynn was born in March 1947 as the second daughter of Errol Flynn and his second wife, Nora Eddington. After her parents divorced, Rory was raised by her mom in Los Angeles, but she still had a loving and special bond with her famous father. Rory was different from her siblings in a unique way. She wasn't just private or wild, she was reflective. She looked back on her family's past with care and honesty. In her late teens, Rory was spotted by the Eileen Ford agency, which helped her launch a high-fashion modeling career. She modeled in all the big fashion cities, New York, London, Paris, and Milan. But later she found her real passion behind the camera. Rory became a still photographer, someone who takes photos on movie sets to capture behind-the-scenes moments. She worked in the film industry through the 1980s and shot photos for over 35 movies and many TV shows. She built a solid career and made a name for herself behind the lens. In 2006, Rory wrote a memoir called The Baron of Mulholland, A Daughter Remembers Errol Flynn. In it, she shared stories about her childhood, what it was like growing up around Hollywood glamour, and her personal memories of her father, both the fun and the hard parts. The book included old photos, family letters, and heartfelt moments. Rory now lives in the Hollywood Hills with her husband, film producer Gideon Amir. Their son, Sean Flynn, who was named after her brother, is also following the family path in film and television. Rory has done a lot to honor her father's legacy. In 2009, she even organized a 2-week-long celebration in Tasmania where Errol was born for his 100th birthday. She donated personal letters and memories to the Tasmanian Museum so his legacy would live on. She now gives talks at schools, events, and even cruise ships, sharing her life story and what it means to grow up in a legendary Hollywood family. Number 1. Arnella Flynn. Arnella Flynn was born on December 25, 1953. She was the only child from Errol Flynn's third and final marriage to actress and singer Patrice Wymore. Arnella was just 6 years old when her father passed away, so she never truly got to know him. After that, she was simply raised between the United States and Jamaica, where her mother owned a peaceful coconut plantation. In the 1970s, Arnella stepped into the fashion world as a model. She never reached worldwide fame, but she made a name for herself in Europe's fashion scene. People who knew her said she had elegance, creativity, and beauty, just like her parents. But sadly, her life took a darker turn. Like her father, Arnella struggled with addiction. Alcohol and drugs became a big part of her life. Some stories say she even sold her own vegetables or stole coconuts from the family plantation just to support her habits. Arnella passed away in September 1998 at just 44 years old, only a few years after losing her mother. Officially, her cause of death was lung disease and heart failure, but many locals believed her long-term substance abuse played a major role. She left behind a son, Luke Flynn, born in the 1970s. Luke, like his cousin Sean Rio, followed the family tradition of modeling and acting. In 2018, Luke even played the role of his legendary grandfather in the film In Like Flynn, bringing the story full circle. None of Errol Flynn's children truly stepped into the spotlight the way he did. Their lives were filled with quiet battles, personal struggles, and moments of heartbreak. But in the second generation, through Luke and Sean Rio, the legacy found a new voice. Maybe that's why Errol Flynn's name still echoes today. His charm, his chaos, and his charisma never really faded, they just changed form. And with that, we wrap up today's video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel so we can keep bringing you more of that nostalgic magic you've been missing. Thanks for watching.